Hey friends! Alright, so this is going to be a draw with me video, and I'm going to try to do this at our nature adventure, but I wanted to make a video in case you wanted to watch it and help your children at home if this is something you'd like to do for your nature journal. I'm going to go ahead and do it on the computer, but when we do this in our nature journals, we're going to use our pencils and our nature journals. So this video is drawing your local watershed. We're going to be talking about a watershed, what the significance is of a watershed in an environment, especially in where we live in the Duck River watershed, some of the different bodies of water, the creeks, that we can make sure we're taking care of, not polluting and allowing any damage to come to our local watershed. So for our drawing lesson, this is going to be a lot of fun. I want you to get a piece of paper and we're going to draw a map because it's really important to know where we live. So I'm going to have you follow in this order. This line right here is going to be Interstate 65. It's kind of hard to draw sideways. And then this over here is going to, well, except for that little dip right there, this is going to be Interstate or Highway 31 that goes right through Spring Hill down to Columbia. Up at the top, we're going to draw Duplex Road. This is Duplex. So the first step, I think, for students to understand their watershed is to understand where they are. So here's Duplex Road. The other main road that kind of goes through Spring Hill is Port Royal. This right here will be Port Royal. I'm just going to draw PR for Port Royal. Oops, sorry, my drawing. And then we're also going to draw Kedron because Kedron is where we do our nature studies. This is where we will meet for our nature adventure. So Kedron kind of goes like this, kind of meets up with Duplex down there south of Saturn Parkway. So this is Kedron. I'm going to draw a K for Kedron. Now Saturn Parkway is really interesting. If you've ever seen cars parked underneath Saturn Parkway at the Kedron Road exit, that's really interesting because they dump the Tennessee Wildlife actually puts in fish underneath the bridge. I believe it's either McCutcheon or McCormick is where they put in the fish, and you'll see a lot of fishermen that are hanging out right. I don't know if you can see my pointer, but the fishermen usually hang out right about here is some good fishing area. So I'm going to write SP for Saturn Parkway. And I'm going to switch to blue because what I wanted to tell students in our nature adventure lesson is about a watershed and how various creeks will dump into other creeks, which will eventually dump into your local watershed. Our local watershed is the Duck River. Now the Duck River is not going to be on this map. The Duck River is way far south, but we have a lot of tributaries, a lot of waterways that are going to lead to the Duck River, and it all has to do with how high we are in our elevation. I'm going to start up here and kind of move closer to Saturn Parkway when it actually splits, and there's going to be, I'm going to make like a little V right here. This creek right here is right by our house. This is Grassy Branch. I'm going to write GB for Grassy Branch. Grassy Branch is a creek that's right near our house. I think it's really important for my children to understand where they live and what is close to them. And we've gone to Grassy Branch. We've picked up trash around the creek before. I encourage everyone, if you live near a creek, just once in a while take a garbage bag with you and go pick up the trash. Grassy Branch leads into Enon or Anon Creek, which is this one. I'm going to write an A right here. Anon Creek, which then dumps into Rutherford Creek. And this is not like to scale size. I'm kind of making it easy to draw, But I'm going to draw a big R right here. Rutherford Creek is a much bigger creek than what Grassy Branch or Anon Creek are. Rutherford Creek is what dumps into the Duck River. Now where we are, I'm going to do a little yellow star. When we meet at the park, we're right here. And the creeks that are where we are McCormick and McCutcheon. So McCormick Creek is the one that we're actually in when we're exploring. McCormick Creek kind of goes this way. McCutcheon is what it turns into. So I'm going to draw an M up here for McCormick, and then McCutcheon does McCormick goes into McCutcheon, which goes into Rutherford. There's also a waterway that goes up this way. On my map, it doesn't have a name, but it might be part of McCutcheon. So I'm going to say McCormick goes into McCutcheon, and where they meet right there, it turns into McCutcheon Creek. So just a fun little easy map to draw to help understand your local watershed if you live here in Spring Hill. And we have just a few more spots left in our nature adventure for September. So just message me if you'd like to come. Thanks for watching.